By the time we reach our 70s or 80s, many of us start to feel a quiet shift. Getting up from a chair feels a bit harder. Walking upstairs takes more effort. And before we know it, daily movements that once felt automatic now require careful thought. But what if I told you this isn't just aging? It's something deeper happening inside your body. It's called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that affects nearly every older adult. In fact, by age 80, you could lose up to half the muscle you had in your younger years. And here's the most surprising part. Many people don't even realize it's happening until they fall, struggle to stand, or find themselves avoiding the things they once loved. Every year, over 300,000 older Americans are hospitalized due to falls caused by muscle weakness. But this doesn't have to be your story. There's something you can do, starting today. You can rebuild strength, you can improve balance, and yes, you can stay independent. In this video, I'll share 7 simple science-backed daily habits that can help restore your strength, protect your mobility, and keep you confident as you age. These aren't quick fixes or extreme routines. They're gentle, practical steps you can take each day, right in your own home. And habit number 5, it might be the missing piece you've been looking for. So let's begin with the most powerful habit of all, the one that can truly change your future from the inside out. Habit 1, progressive resistance training. If there's one habit that holds the key to staying strong as you age, it's this: progressive resistance training. Now, before you picture bodybuilders lifting massive weights, take a breath. That's not what we're talking about. Resistance training simply means using a small amount of weight or even your own body to gently challenge your muscles. And when you do it consistently, it tells your body, I still need this strength. Don't let it go. Here's why it matters so much. After the age of 60, our bodies naturally lose muscle each year, but resistance training flips that script. It slows, even reverses that loss. It helps rebuild muscle fibers, strengthen bones, improve joint stability, and give you more energy throughout the day. And you don't need a gym membership to do it. Start with just 2 sessions a week, each about 20 to 30 minutes long. You can use light dumbbells, resistance bands, or even a sturdy chair. Focus on compound movements, exercises that work more than one muscle group at a time. These include chair squats, sit to stand, wall push-ups, seated rows with resistance bands, step-ups onto a stair. It's not about lifting heavy, it's about lifting consistently. The key principle here is called progressive overload. That simply means do just a little more over time, add an extra rep, hold the position slightly longer, increase the resistance a notch. These small adjustments are what tell your muscles to adapt and grow stronger. Let me share the story of Ruth, a 79-year-old widow who had never set foot in a gym. When her doctor warned her about her bone loss, she felt overwhelmed. But with the help of a physical therapist, she began doing light chair exercises 3 times a week at home. At first, she could barely stand without holding on. But after 10 weeks, she was walking upstairs again. She told me, I thought I was fading. Now I feel like I'm coming back. That's the quiet power of resistance training, and science backs it up. A study from the University of Alabama followed seniors in their 70s who did resistance training twice a week. In just 3 months, they gained an average of 3.3 pounds of lean muscle and increased their strength by 35%, all without changing their diet. It's never too late. Your muscles are waiting for a signal, and you get to choose what that signal is. So here's your simple action plan. Habit 3, embrace gentle, healing stress, cold, heat, fasting, isometrics. Pick 2 days each week, say Monday and Thursday. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Choose 4 to 5 basic movements. Do each for 2 to 3 sets of 10 reps. Rest when needed. Breathe deeply. Celebrate small wins. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. You'll be amazed at what a consistent habit can do for your strength, confidence, and independence. Still not sure where to begin? Start by practicing standing from a chair without using your hands. Do it 5 times a day. That's your foundation. That's your first step back to strength. Have you tried strength training before? Or are you just getting started? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if this resonated with you, Share it with someone you care about. Because strength after 60 is not a lost cause. It's a choice we can make, one habit at a time. Habit 3, embrace gentle, healing stress. Cold, heat, fasting, isometrics. It might sound odd, but one of the best ways to protect your muscles and energy as you age is to gently challenge your body with certain kinds of stress. Not harmful stress, not the kind that leaves you overwhelmed or exhausted. We're talking about hormetic stress, small, controlled doses of physical challenge that actually trigger your body to adapt and grow stronger. Think of it this way. Just like lifting light weights makes your muscles grow, these micro stressors do the same thing for your cells, metabolism, and muscle resilience. And you don't need fancy equipment or intense routines. Just a few simple habits can flip a powerful switch in your body. Let's explore 4 of the most effective ones. 1. Cold exposure, a refreshing reset. It's not for everyone, but even 30 to 60 seconds of cold water at the end of your shower can be a game changer. What happens? That burst of cold activates your brown fat, a healthy type of fat that generates heat and helps regulate metabolism. It also boosts adiponectin, a hormone that supports muscle repair and cellular energy production. But perhaps most importantly, it trains your blood vessels to contract and relax, which improves circulation. That means better nutrient delivery to your muscles and stronger endurance over time. You don't need to go full ice bath. Just a quick cold rinse at the end of a warm shower is enough to spark this response. Start slow, 10 seconds, then build. 2. Heat therapy, nature's recovery room. On the opposite end of the spectrum, gentle heat, like a sauna or a warm bath, can be just as powerful. When your body is exposed to heat, it produces special proteins called heat shock proteins. These help repair damaged muscle cells, prevent muscle breakdown, and reduce inflammation throughout your body. A remarkable Finnish study followed adults who used the sauna 4 to 7 times per week. They experienced up to 40% less muscle loss over a decade compared to those who didn't. And it makes sense. Heat helps muscles relax, it improves circulation, and it sends a calming signal to your nervous system, supporting recovery and deep rest. No sauna? A 20-minute soak in a warm bath with Epsom salts can offer similar benefits. 3. Intermittent fasting. Giving your body time to heal. Fasting isn't about eating less. It's about giving your body time to rest and repair between meals. When you limit your eating window to 8 to 10 hours a day, for example, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., your body enters a state called autophagy. This is like a deep cellular cleanup. Old, worn-out cells are broken down, and newer, stronger ones take their place. For your muscles, this means improved energy efficiency, better inflammation control, and more resilience against age-related muscle loss. A 12-week study from the Salk Institute found that older adults practicing time-restricted eating improved their mitochondrial function, the energy centers of their cells, by 10% without even changing their diet. That's more energy, clearer thinking, and better muscle performance, just by shifting when you eat. If you're new to this, try starting with a 12-hour eating window, say 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and gradually narrow it from there if it feels right for your body. 4. Isometric exercises, strength without strain. Finally, we come to one of the most senior-friendly forms of strength building, isometric holds. These are simple movements where you contract your muscles without moving your joints, like pushing your hands together, squeezing a pillow between your knees, or holding a wall sit. These exercises build muscle tension without risking injury, strengthen core and stabilizer muscles, improve joint alignment and posture, and they're incredibly efficient. Just 5 to 10 seconds of high-effort holds, done a few times per day, can increase muscle activation and help prevent loss of mobility. They're also perfect for people with sensitive knees, hips, or shoulders. You could try pressing your palms together at chest height for 10 seconds, gently pushing your heels into the floor while seated, holding a glute squeeze while brushing your teeth. Tiny actions, big impact. Now you might wonder, what happens if you skip these habits? Over time, your mitochondria, those tiny engines that power every muscle cell, begin to slow down. Your recovery slows, energy fades, muscles weaken. Without these microstressors, your body doesn't get the signal to renew, protect, and adapt. In other words, aging accelerates quietly in the background. But with just a little intention, you can change that trajectory. You don't need to suffer or strain. You just need to stimulate. A little heat, a little cold, a little pause between meals, a few gentle holds. These practices whisper to your body, I still want to grow. I still want to move. I'm still here. So here's your gentle challenge. Tomorrow, finish your shower with 15 seconds of cool water. This week, try pushing your palms together for 10 seconds before breakfast. Or close the kitchen after dinner and give your body 12 hours to rest. Small habits done consistently add up to a stronger, sharper, more resilient version of you. If any of these habits sound interesting to you, drop a in the comments. Let us know which one you'd be willing to try. You might just inspire someone else to step into their strength, one simple stressor at a time. Habit 4. Balance vitamin D and K2 for strength and stability. When people think about vitamins that support aging, vitamin D is often the first that comes to mind, and with good reason. But here's what most people don't realize. Vitamin D doesn't work alone. To truly protect your bones, muscles, and heart, it needs a critical partner, vitamin K2. Together, they create a team that strengthens your body from the inside out. Let's explore why this combination is so essential, especially after age 60. Why vitamin D matters more than ever. As we get older, something subtle but important changes in the way our body produces and uses vitamin D. Even if you're out in the sun every day, by the time you're in your 70s or 80s, your skin's ability to convert sunlight into vitamin D drops by up to 50%. That's a big deal considering how many systems rely on this vitamin. Here's what optimal levels of vitamin D do for you. Activate genes that support muscle repair and coordination. Improve balance and reaction time. Boost your immune system and support bone density to prevent fractures. In short, when your vitamin D levels are healthy, your muscles work better, you feel steadier on your feet, and your risk of falling drops. But if you're low, like over 80% of older adults, you may feel unexplained fatigue, muscle aches or cramps, a general sense of weakness or instability. And the frustrating part, most people don't even realize their levels are low. How much vitamin D do you really need? The old recommendation of 600 IU per day? That's not enough for most older adults. Experts now suggest 2,000 to 4,000 IU of vitamin D3 per day, especially if you're not getting regular sun exposure. And the best way to know what you need is a simple blood test. Aim for levels between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter. But before you rush to stock up on vitamin D, here's where things get interesting. The overlooked power of vitamin K2 vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium. That's great for your bones. But without vitamin K2, that calcium doesn't always go where it should. In fact, without K2, calcium can end up in your arteries, leading to dangerous buildup that increases your risk of heart disease. That's why pairing vitamin D with K2 is so important. Think of K2 as the traffic cop. It tells calcium, hey, go to the bones, not the arteries. K2 works by activating proteins that shuttle calcium to your skeletal system and away from soft tissues where it can do harm. This partnership supports stronger bones, cleaner arteries, better muscle contractions, and reduced risk of injury or disease. Where do you get K2? Unfortunately, K2 isn't easy to get from most Western diets. It's found in natto, a traditional Japanese fermented soybean dish, aged cheeses like Gouda or Brie, egg yolks, butter from grass-fed cows, and fermented foods like sauerkraut or kefir. For many seniors, the simplest solution is a supplement that combines D3 plus K2, especially in the MK7 form of K2, which stays in your body longer and is more bioavailable. And don't worry, this doesn't mean you need to overhaul your entire diet. Just one small addition can make a huge difference in how your body handles calcium and supports strength. A real-world example. Let's take Helen. She's 74 and always thought she was doing everything right, walking daily, eating well, taking her vitamin D. But she still struggled with fatigue, and felt unstable on her feet. Her doctor tested her blood and found her D levels were okay, but her calcium was creeping into her arteries. With a simple change, adding 200 micrograms of vitamin K to MK7, along with her daily D3, things began to shift. Within 2 months, she felt steadier, more energetic, and her follow-up scans showed better calcium balance. It wasn't a miracle. It was biology working as intended, with the right support. What if you don't balance D and K2? Without this synergy, you may experience clogged arteries despite a healthy diet, weak bones despite high calcium intake, muscle weakness and cramping, higher risk of falls, fractures, or heart issues, and these symptoms can sneak up quietly over time. But when you bring D and K2 together, the difference can be dramatic. You feel more grounded, more energized, more stable. It's like giving your body the instruction manual it's been waiting for. Your gentle action step. Get your vitamin D levels tested, especially if it's been a while. Supplement with D3, 2000 to 4000 IU, if needed. Pair it with K2, 100 to 200 micrograms of MK7. Add in fermented foods or egg yolks a few times a week. Aim for 15 to 20 minutes of sun on your arms and face most days. Remember, it's not about piling on more supplements. It's about getting the right ones in the right combination at the right time in life. The beauty of this habit is how quietly it works. You won't feel a jolt or a buzz, but you might just notice that your knees ache less, your step feels more solid, and your energy lasts longer through the day. If you've already added vitamin D to your routine, have you tried pairing it with K2? Drop it in the comments if this gave you a new perspective, and tag someone who could benefit from a little extra strength and balance. Habit 5. Boost essential micronutrients, the hidden keys to strength. Most people think that staying strong as we age is all about exercise and protein. And while those two are important, there's a quiet layer beneath them that's just as essential. Micronutrients. These are the vitamins and minerals that support every single function in your muscles. They're small, yes, but they play a big role in how your body builds, repairs, and energizes itself day after day. Unfortunately, many older adults are deficient in these hidden heroes, often without realizing it. So in this section, we'll walk through 6 powerful micronutrients that can quietly transform how you feel, move, and age. And we'll show you easy ways to get more of each, naturally and safely. 1. Magnesium, the muscle whisperer. Let's start with magnesium, often called the forgotten mineral. It helps regulate muscle contractions, supports energy production through ATP, and calms nerves. Without enough magnesium, you may feel cramps in your calves or feet, muscle twitches, constant fatigue, even after resting. What's more, over 70% of older adults are magnesium deficient due to reduced absorption in common medications like diuretics and PPIs. You'll find magnesium in pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, and Swiss chard, black beans and dark chocolate. Yes, really. Still, many people find it helpful to add a magnesium glycinate or citrate supplement, especially if sleep or cramps are a concern. 2. Creatine, not just for athletes. If you've heard of creatine, you might associate it with gym goers and bodybuilders. But here's something few people realize. Creatine is one of the most research-proven supplements for adults over 60. Here's what it can do. Replenish quick energy in your muscles. Support muscle growth and recovery. Boost cognition, particularly in memory and processing speed. Increase lean body mass, which protects joints and bones. And yes, creatine is safe and effective for seniors, especially when paired with light strength training. A study from McMaster University showed that adults over 65 who took 3 to 5 grams of creatine per day and performed resistance exercises gained more muscle strength and mental clarity than those who didn't. You can mix it into water, coffee, or a smoothie. It has no taste and doesn't spike your energy like caffeine. It simply refuels your muscles so they can perform. 3. Vitamin B12. For nerves, not just energy. Low vitamin B12 is shockingly common among older adults. As we age, our ability to absorb it from food drops dramatically, especially if you're taking antacids or have digestive issues. And what happens when B12 is low? You might feel tingling or numbness in your hands or feet, poor balance weakness or heavy legs, brain fog or forgetfulness. That's because B12 is essential for nerve health and for the brain-muscle connection. Without it, the signals between your brain and body begin to misfire. To stay on top of your levels, eat more fish, eggs, dairy, and fortified cereals. Ask your doctor for methylated B12 supplements easier to absorb. Consider sublingual, under-the-tongue versions, which bypass digestion for zinc, selenium, and chromium, the micronutrient trio. These three trace minerals may be small, but they're mighty. Together, they help support everything from protein synthesis to insulin sensitivity. Let's break them down. Zinc aids in healing, immunity, and muscle repair. It also boosts your ability to use protein effectively. Selenium protects muscle tissue from oxidative damage. Think of it as your muscle's built-in armor. Chromium improves how your body uses carbohydrates, which helps fuel your muscles and maintain blood sugar stability. All three are commonly low in older adults due to reduced food variety or poor gut absorption. You'll find them in Brazil nuts, a great source of selenium, eggs and shellfish, whole grains, oats, and barley lean meats and legumes. And if you've been dealing with blood sugar fluctuations, slow recovery, or frequent fatigue, checking your mineral levels might offer some surprising insight. A true story, I was doing everything right, but still felt weak. Let's meet George, 79. He was doing resistance training, eating protein, and staying active. But something didn't feel right. His energy kept dipping, his muscles felt sluggish, and he struggled to recover after even a short walk. A blood test revealed low B12, low magnesium, and borderline zinc levels. With a few simple shifts, adding a high-absorption B12 supplement, eating more greens and nuts, and using a creatine powder every morning, he began to notice a change. Within weeks, his grip felt firmer, his steps steadier, and his mood brighter. It wasn't a miracle, George said. It was just giving my body what it had been missing. What happens if you skip these nutrients? Even if you eat well and exercise, missing these small but essential elements can lead to slow or incomplete muscle recovery, cramping, twitching, or nerve discomfort. Increased fatigue, even with rest. Higher risk of falls due to weakened neuromuscular signaling. And the worst part? These symptoms are often blamed on just getting older, when they're actually signs of micronutrient depletion. The fix isn't complicated, but it is intentional. A simple daily boost. Here's how to start. Add a handful of nuts or seeds to your breakfast or snack. Include a leafy green or whole grain with every meal. Consider a quality creatine supplement, 3 to 5 grams per day. Look into B12 and magnesium supplements, especially if you're over 65. Enjoy foods rich in zinc, selenium, and chromium 3 to 4 times per week. This isn't about loading up on dozens of pills or reinventing your diet. It's about filling in quiet nutritional gaps that could be holding you back. When your muscles and nerves have what they need, everything just works better. You move with more confidence, recover faster, and carry yourself with greater ease. If you felt frustrated doing all the right things, but still struggling with energy or strength, this might be the missing link. Has this resonated with you? Let us know in the comments or drop A if you're ready to give your body what it truly needs. Habit 6. Strengthen the connection between your brain and muscles. When we think about staying strong and active as we age, it's easy to focus just on muscle mass. But there's a quieter force at play, one that matters just as much, if not more, your nervous system. Specifically, we're talking about the neuromuscular connection, the invisible communication line between your brain and your muscles. Every time you lift your foot to step, reach for a cup, or catch yourself from slipping, it's your brain and muscles working together in real time. And here's the key. As we get older, these connections naturally weaken. Even strong muscles can feel clumsy or unresponsive if the signals from the brain are delayed or unclear. That's why strengthening these connections is one of the most powerful habits you can build into your daily life, especially after age 60. Why these signals matter so much. Picture your muscles like a group of well-trained workers. They're ready, willing, and strong. But without clear instructions from the brain, they hesitate, they delay, they get the job done, just a little too late. That delay can mean more stumbles or near falls, trouble adjusting to uneven surfaces, difficulty with tasks that require precision, like buttoning a shirt or carrying a tray. The good news? Just like muscle, the neuromuscular system can be trained. With the right habits, you can sharpen these lines of communication, making your movements faster, smoother, and more confident. 1. Practice coordination-based movement. Let's begin with one of the most enjoyable strategies, coordinated movement. Activities like Tai Chi ballroom or line dancing, pickleball or ping pong agility, or balance drills with light steps and changes of direction. These aren't just fun hobbies, they're workouts for your brain and body. They challenge your brain to send rapid-fire instructions to your muscles, helping you move more gracefully and react more quickly. A landmark study published in the Journal of Physiology found that seniors who practice mind-body movement patterns, like dance or martial arts, had better mobility and balance than those doing only traditional strength or cardio workouts. Why? Because you're not just moving, you're thinking, adjusting, and reacting. That keeps your neuromuscular pathways awake and engaged. 2. Nourish your nerve muscle pathways with vitamin B1, benfotiamine. This next tip is lesser known but incredibly important. To fire correctly, your neuromuscular system needs a key nutrient, vitamin B1, also called thiamine. More specifically, we recommend the bioavailable form called benfotiamine, which is absorbed more easily by aging bodies. Vitamin B1 helps produce acetylcholine, a chemical messenger that acts like a spark plug. It tells your muscles to contract, and without enough of it, you may feel muscle weakness, numbness, or tingling in the limbs, a lag in response where your muscles just don't react as quickly. You can get B1 from whole grains, legumes, pork, and sunflower seeds. But many older adults don't absorb enough through food alone. That's why a small daily benfotiamine supplement, taken with a meal, can help restore muscle responsiveness and reaction speed. 3. Activate the vagus nerve with box breathing. Here's a surprising one. Your breathing can sharpen your coordination. There's a technique called box breathing, used by everyone from Navy SEALs to therapists, which helps regulate your nervous system. Here's how it works. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold again for 4 seconds. Repeat for 3 to 5 rounds. What does this do? It stimulates your vagus nerve, which calms the body and improves focus. It also enhances motor readiness, so your muscles can respond quickly when needed. Try it before a walk, during a stretching session, or when you feel anxious. It takes just 60 seconds, but it makes a big difference in how centered and coordinated you feel. A story of stillness and speed. Let me tell you about Linda, a 74-year-old former teacher. She walked every day, ate well, and even did light strength training. But she noticed her reactions were slowing down. She tripped more often. Buttons felt harder to do. Her handwriting got shakier. Her daughter introduced her to 2 things: a local Tai Chi class, a supplement with benfotiamine and magnesium. Within 2 months, Linda felt steadier. She caught herself mid-stumble instead of falling. Her hands felt more responsive. And perhaps most importantly, she felt in control again. She told us, "I didn't realize how much I'd lost until I started gaining it back." What happens if you ignore these signals? When your neuromuscular connections weaken, your world subtly begins to shrink. You may avoid stairs. You might hesitate before bending or reaching. You begin to feel less steady in places you once moved freely. But this isn't just about preventing falls. It's about preserving freedom. And the solution isn't extreme. It's small, consistent habits. Movement that challenges your coordination. Nutrients that feed your nerve signals. Breathing practices that restore focus. When your brain and body speak the same language, everything becomes easier. Walking, lifting, turning, reacting. So if you've ever thought, Why do I feel unsteady even though I'm strong? This is likely the missing piece. Strength isn't just about muscle, it's about communication. And just like any relationship, when that communication improves, so does everything else. Drop a neck in the comments if you're ready to reconnect your brain and body, one breath, one step, one smile at a time. Habit 7. Calm the hidden fire, fighting chronic inflammation as you age. Let's talk about something that rarely makes headlines, yet quietly affects almost every aspect of aging: chronic low-grade inflammation. Scientists have a name for it: inflammaging, a slow-burning fire within the body that quietly erodes muscle strength, drains energy, and accelerates aging from the inside out. Unlike the inflammation you feel when you sprain an ankle or catch a cold, this one doesn't cause pain right away. But over time, it silently chips away at your vitality, impacting everything from joint comfort to memory to how well your muscles rebuild. And if you're doing everything right, exercising, eating well, even taking supplements, but still feel stiff, tired, or weak, this could be the missing piece. Why chronic inflammation hurts muscle strength. Every time you lift a weight or go for a walk, your body experiences tiny bits of muscle damage. That's normal. It's part of how muscles rebuild and grow stronger. But here's the problem. Chronic inflammation blocks that recovery. It interferes with muscle protein synthesis, how your body rebuilds muscle; insulin sensitivity, how you absorb and use nutrients; hormone signaling, especially growth and repair hormones. As a result, even small workouts leave you sore longer. You don't recover as quickly, and your strength gains stall or even slip backward. In fact, a study from Tufts University found that seniors with elevated inflammatory markers lost muscle 3 times faster than their peers, even if they were eating well and staying active. The root causes of inflammaging. So what causes this silent fire in the first place? It's not one thing. It's a collection of small stressors that pile up over time: poor sleep, unbalanced gut bacteria, processed foods, blood sugar imbalances, toxins, chronic stress, and even loneliness. Individually, they might seem minor, but together they build an invisible burden on your immune system. The good news? You can cool this fire with a handful of powerful daily habits, and when you do, your entire body responds. 1. Prioritize deep, restorative sleep. Sleep isn't just rest, it's repair time. During deep sleep, your body reduces inflammatory cytokines, rebuilds muscle tissue, strengthens the immune system. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night in a dark, quiet room. Tips for better sleep: turn off screens an hour before bed. Keep your room cool, around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Try magnesium glycinate or tart cherry juice in the evening. Avoid large meals or alcohol late at night. Missing sleep by even 1 hour a night has been shown to increase inflammation by up to 40%. But when you sleep well, everything else, energy, mood, muscle strength, begins to shift. 2. Eat to feed your gut and fight inflammation. Your gut is home to trillions of microbes. They influence everything from digestion to brain health to, you guessed it, inflammation. A healthy gut calms inflammation. An imbalanced one can fuel it. So how do you support your gut and reduce inflammaging? Aim for 30 different plant-based foods per week. These include vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, seeds, herbs, and whole grains. Why 30? Because microbial diversity is key. The more variety, the healthier your gut, and the lower your inflammation levels. Add fermented foods daily. Just a spoonful or two of plain yogurt, kefir sauerkraut, kimchi miso adds beneficial bacteria to your system. Embrace anti-inflammatory herbs and spices. Turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, garlic, and rosemary are more than flavorful. They're healing. Limit ultra-processed foods. Sugar, refined flours, and artificial additives feed the wrong bacteria and promote inflammation. 3. Support with gentle daily movement. Ironically, one of the best ways to calm inflammation is to move. Not high-impact or punishing workouts, but gentle, regular motion, like walking, yoga, stretching, swimming, or dancing. This kind of movement improves circulation, stimulates lymphatic drainage, your body's cleanup system, lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, signals the body to release anti-inflammatory compounds naturally. Even just 20 to 30 minutes a day of light activity can help regulate your immune system and reduce muscle-degrading inflammation. 4. Add smart anti-inflammatory nutrients. Certain nutrients work like tiny firefighters inside your body. Here are 3 worth focusing on. Omega-3s. These healthy fats, found in wild salmon, flax seeds, walnuts, and fish oil, are proven to lower systemic inflammation and support both joint and muscle health. Polyphenols. Found in berries, green tea, dark chocolate, and olives, these powerful antioxidants help protect cells and reduce inflammatory damage. Curcumin. The active compound in turmeric, curcumin, is a natural anti-inflammatory shown to improve pain, mobility, and muscle recovery. For best results, choose a supplement that includes black pepper extract to boost absorption. And don't forget your vitamin D, a powerful modulator of the immune system that helps regulate inflammation from within. A story of turning it around. Let's meet George, age 79. George stayed active. He ate well, but no matter what he did, he felt stiff in the morning. His knees ached after walks. His energy faded by noon. He assumed it was just old age. But after seeing a nutritionist, George started making changes. He added fermented veggies and flax seeds to his meals, started going to bed by 10 p.m., began supplementing with omega-3s and curcumin. Within 6 weeks, George noticed something powerful. He moved easier. He woke up with less pain. He had energy again. And most importantly, he started enjoying his mornings instead of dreading them. What happens if you ignore inflammaging? If you skip this habit, you may feel sluggish and stiff, even with good sleep, weaker after workouts with longer recovery, foggy in the morning or flat in mood, more vulnerable to illness, injury, and fatigue. The truth is, inflammation doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just whispers and waits. But when you learn to listen and respond with care, your body heals, your energy lifts, your muscles grow stronger, your life feels more vibrant. Your anti-inflammaging action plan: sleep 7 to 8 hours a night, eat 30+ plant foods weekly, move daily, even lightly, add fermented foods and spices, supplement with omega-3s, curcumin, and vitamin D. These changes don't require perfection. They require presence and a gentle commitment to your well-being. You don't have to fight inflammation with force. You quiet it with kindness, nourishment, and rhythm. If this section spoke to you, drop A in the comments to let us know you're ready to turn down the inner flame and reclaim your strength from the inside out.